Hey guys, it's Todd from Like Minded Lunatics, bringing you, it's another drink, play, swear. Hey, it's all we do around here. I mean, besides growing up feeling wrong-handed, it's all we've ever really done around here. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Drink, Play, Swear, and welcome back to Like Minded Lunatics. You know that Like Minded Lunatics is not just me here at Drink, Play, Swear. No, it's not. It's also Bang, my buddy Mark Gifford, doing the Friday night videos, co-founder of LML, always killing it. Although I will say, Mark, you haven't been topless in a while. You're not taking your shirt off as much as you used to. And I think you're getting conservative in your old age. But I think me and the community and myself, anyway, I think we all want you to be shirtless more often. Please consider that, okay? And bang, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button so we can see how big this family of weirdos is getting. All right. What do we do here at Drink, Play, Swear? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. We play a game, usually a classic one, pair it with the beverage, and yeah, I tell you a story. We talk a little bit, okay? Sometimes it's a composed story. Sometimes I'm just running my mouth. Today, I'm just sort of running my mouth, I have to be honest with you. What are we playing here? It's Double Dragon 3, The Sacred Stones. Never played this game before, but I'm familiar with the series, so we're going to wrap our heads around it. It's from 1990 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a true classic. Let's do it. And we're pairing it with a true classic today. This is a Jim Beam and Coke. Get yourself something, friends. Okay, let's play. It's Double Dragon, so it's like a beat 'em up, right? You can wrap your head around it pretty easy, but look at the graphics from these days. I just love it. Couldn't be better. What are we getting into in terms of the story today while the story of this game sort of unravels for us? Reared its ugly head. Okay. Sorry, as I said, I don't know this game. Today, I want to talk about left-handedness. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, T-Rizzy, Toddy McWright, is a left-handed human being. I'm a lefty, okay? Unapologetically. In fact, being a lefty, you tend to bond with other lefties as soon as you meet them. And you also get a little aggressive at anyone who is judgmental about your left-handedness. When I grew up, I actually had like a supportive environment in terms of my left-handedness. My kindergarten teacher was a sweet lady, and she told me that me being left-handed meant that I was creative and interesting and different in a good way. But my mother told me that when she was growing up in like the 40s and 50s in West Texas, that it was not considered okay or special. In fact, it meant that they thought you were like divergent in a sort of like negative way, like you were trying to misbehave, like you were trying to cause a problem, and so they wouldn't allow you to be left-handed. Isn't that weird? But I have to tell you, as a left-handed person, there was just no other way around it. I'm a lefty, and it's not just that I use my left hand to write things, but I use my left hand to do everything. And I do think, and I haven't looked into like the neuroscience of this, but I do think that it does make me different. They talk about how often lefties are capable of divergent thinking, and that lefties solve problems in perhaps a different way than righties do, or average people. Sorry, I'll call you guys average people's righties. As I fail at this game. I'm not better than you, I'm just different, okay? But that we solve problems differently than right-handed people because we're faced with different difficulties. Let me give you an example. Growing up, when you're watching your teacher teach handwriting, they're teaching you with their right hand. And so here you are trying to copy them with your left hand, so you're trying to copy them, but in the opposite way? And that feels weird. It not only feels weird when you're doing handwriting, because like well, usually in a desk in school, your arm is floating as you're writing in a way that the other kids are not. But also, as a lefty, you're writing and you are smearing the ink as you write, yeah, across the page, because you're writing on top of what you've just written. And in fact, growing up, anytime I would see a kid who had like smeared ink on their left hand, I knew they were a lefty. It was sort of like a way to know we were the same. Like a little club, tiny little club. Not an exclusive club in the way that you'd think, like being proud of. You felt like a weird, I don't know, anomaly. Yeah? But as I said, my kindergarten teacher and my mother were very supportive of me being a lefty, and I felt fine about it. But it did make things strange and difficult growing up. In baseball, of course, being a lefty is an advantage, right? If you're a southpaw, that is very strategic, you see, whether you're a batter or a pitcher, and that can be awfully helpful. But I think that for the most part, it makes things honestly harder in life. Now, I think about the fact that I am a cisgendered white male in the United States in his early 40s. Okay? Now, if you do not fall under those categories, let me just tell you what it's like. Okay? Here's what it's like. Any room I go into, even if I've never been there, there's going to be a group of people. They're going to look at me. They're going to look at me respectfully. And then one person is going to walk up and say, "What can I do for you, sir?" Okay? Whether I deserve that kind of respect or not, that's what I'm going to generally get. Yeah? And I realize that not every group gets that. That depending on your gender identity, your ethnicity, your political beliefs, or whatever makes you feel different than others around you, it's possible that you don't quite get what you need from those around you. Yeah. I only have a very small version of this as being a lefty, but I did grow up, and I think it probably has a lot to do with why I ended up sort of left of center politically. Even though I was a cisgendered white male with a Republican businessman dad, okay? Because, first of all, divergence is just interesting. It's just more interesting than the norm. But also, you realize that, like, people are thought of differently just based on who they naturally are, and that, just plainly speaking, fucking sucks, right? So, today, here's to being different, whether it's because you're left-handed or because your gender identity is something that doesn't fit in with your family or your community, or whether you grow up in a place where there are no other folks in your ethnic background. The thing I try to tell my kids all the time is that, yes, we're always trying to like fit in, yeah? And fitting in at a certain age feels so important because really you want to blend, right? And when you're pointed out for being different, it's sort of embarrassing. And that's understandable. But if you look to all the people that jump out in history, you look at your favorite musicians, you look at your favorite movie and TV stars, or even people from, the history books who stand out that you really respect, you realize that they are very, very different from the people around them. And that differences make people more interesting and often impact change. I'm not going to say left-handed people are special necessarily. We're kind of weird. But it is part of the reason why at the top of the program every week, I always say, like-minded weirdos, degenerates, runaways, and ne'er-do-wells? Because I feel like it's important to identify that all of us, whatever our difference is from the norm, need some reassurance. My wife is going to correct me. I always get it wrong. Reassurance? What the hell am I supposed to be saying, babe? Help me out. My wife will not watch this, so she won't even be in the comments. But that we all need that. And that's one of the things I love about Like Minded Lunatics and about doing this stuff with Mark and this stuff with Lottie and Ricky and Jim is because we're not all the same people. And there are many differences between us. But we appreciate those differences. So, hey, if there's a message to take away from this today, it's if you're a right-handed person and you've always been giving lefties a hard time, just know they're solving problems around you in a different way. They're basically fucking geniuses. Okay, all right, in between, I'm going to wrap it up today. Double Dragon 3, obviously I am horrible at. This is my first time playing it, but it's a good time. I should come back to it as Billy. And in between now and the next time I talk to you, I am Todd Wright, unapologetically left-handed. Oh, see ya.